press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hi students, so we are studying probability. In the last class we have covered two examples given in your textbook, and now we shall continue to study the subject with the third example. So all students may please open your textbook. In your textbook in page number 278, so example 3, in page 278 page. So this question is that, let us try to understand that a die is thrown 1000 times with the frequencies for the outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are given below, and frequencies are as follows. Outcome 1, so 179 times, so 2s come on top. A dice is rolled 1000 times, and each time, so whether 1 has come up, 2 has come up, 2 has come up, that is recorded. So here 1 has appeared on top 179 times, that is known as the frequency. So frequency means how frequently it has occurred. So it has come 179 times, 2 has come 150 times, and 3 has come 157 times, 4 has come 149 times, and 5 has appeared 175 times, 6 had appeared 190 times. Now the question is, find the probability of getting each outcome. So here we have to find the probability of getting 1, getting 2, getting 3, getting 4, getting 5, getting 6. So now first let us denote the probabilities. So answer, let E1 comma E2 comma E3 comma E4 comma E5 and E6 denote E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, 6 denote the frequency of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 respectively. Denote the, you can say, instead of frequency you can say probability. So denote the probability of respectively. So therefore you can see here total trials, as you know, total trials is 1000 times the dice is rolled. So the total trials is 1000. So therefore probability of E1, so therefore probability of E1 P E1 will be equal to, so E1, how many times E1 has appeared? First time we have to write the formula, total number of trials, total number of trials where E1 has occurred, divided by total number of trials, total number of trials. So therefore, probability of E1 equals, as you can see, E1 has appeared. See, 1, the frequency of 1 is 179 times. So therefore, 179 divided by 1000, that becomes 0.179 is the probability of E1. Similarly, E2, probability of E2 will be, so E2 has appeared 150 times, so therefore you will write 150 divided by 1000, it was 0.15. Now PE3 equals, you can see it has appeared 157 times, so 157 divided by 1000, that equals 0.157, 0.15, or you can write 150, both are same. Now probability of E4 equals, E4 you can see 149 times it has appeared, 149 divided by 1000, so that equals 0.149. So E1, E2, E4, E5 are the, see, these are the favorable events. Here E4 is 149 times it has appeared out of 1000. So therefore E5 now, PE5 equals 175 divided by 1000, 175 divided by 1000, that equals 0.175. Now PE6 equals 190 divided by 1000, 190 divided by 1000, that equals 0.190. Now see, PE1, PE2, PE3, PE4, PE5, PE6. If you add all these 6, you observe here, PE1 plus PE2, probability of all the events, PE3 plus PE4 plus PE5, and lastly PE6. So this will be equal to, you can see here, 0.179 plus 0.150 plus 0.157 plus 149 plus E5 175, 0.175 plus lastly 0.190. So this you will get 1. If you total them, you will get 1. So that means the probability, the total of probability of all the events is 1. So another thing you have to observe here, there are 6 possibilities when you roll a coin, roll a dice. All are having equal chance to come up. So here, as you can see, this is 0.17, 0.15, 0.15, 0.14, 0.17, 0.19. That means every event from 1 to 6 or below 1. That means, so any one event, say 6, has appeared every 1000 times. That is not possible. So therefore, all the event will be below 1. Either the probability will be 0 or maximum it is 1. So probability of any event is 0 to 1 inclusive of both, and there will always be, probability of any event will always be less than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 1. So this is, you have to have a note on that. I will write down 2 points here. So from this study, what we understand, the probability of each event, the probability note you can have, note the probability of each event you can see it is more than 0 and less than 1. Event is between 0 to 1. 0 to 1. You can write like this, 0 to 1. And this is another important property. The sum of probability of all the events is always equal to 1. The sum of probability of all events is equal to 1. So these are important things. And when a dice is rolled, the events which are possible are only 6 events are possible. You may get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all 6 events are having equal opportunity to come on top. So therefore, all the events in a trial, write one more sentence, all the events in a all the events you can write E1, E2, etc., E6 have equal chance. Now I will erase this and go to the next problem. So let us take up example 5. Example 5 in your textbook. It is on page number 279. 279. Now, it says like this: the record of a weather station shows that out of the first 250 consecutive days, so 250 days continuously, a weather forecasting station weather forecasts were correct to 275 times. So 250 days, observe this, 250 days weather forecasting was made by the weather forecasting station. Now, what has happened? Weather forecasts were correct 175 times. Out of these 175 times, so it has come up correctly. 175 times it was come up correctly. So they estimate today what will be, whether it will rain today or it will be a hot day today, likewise. So some blowing wind will be there. So they forecast based on some scientific measurements. So out of those things, out of 250, 175 turned to be correct. So now the question is, what is the probability that on a given day it was correct? So here, see, this is total trialing, total trial. So this is correct. That means the forecast was correct 175 days. See, when a forecast is given, there are only two possibilities as per this given problem. It may come true, it may not come true. So here what is the question is? The question is, what is probability that on a given day it was correct? What is the probability that it was not correct on a given day? So we have to calculate the probability of correct on a given day and not correct on a given day. So therefore we have to proceed like this. Answer. So here total number of days, the record is available. So it is 250 days. 250 days continuously they have given broadcasting. And so what we have to do is, let E1 represents, let E1, we have to take like that. E1 denotes, you can say, Let E1 denotes the E1 denotes number of days the forecast was correct, and E2 denotes the number of days the forecast was not correct. Was not correct. So now it is easy for us to calculate the probability of these two events. So now therefore probability of E1 P E1 will be equal to, see, total number of correct, so that is E1 denotes the number of days forecast was correct. I will write here number of days forecast was correct, divided by total number of days, that is 250, total number of days, total trials you can say, total days record available, total days record available. So based on that only we are calculating. So therefore PE1 will be equal to, see, it is 175, correct is 175 divided by 250, 175 divided by 250. So it is 0.3, 0.7, sorry, 0.7, 250.175, 0.175 divided by 250. So now, next one is, so I will take up here PE2. So before we, see here we have to calculate the number of, denotes the number of days forecast was not correct. So how many days it was not correct? Out of 250, 175 was correct. So therefore 250 minus 175, the difference we have to calculate, that is 75 days it was not correct. So therefore number of days, otherwise first we shall calculate that number of days the forecast was not correct. Equals total days minus correct days, that is 250 minus 175 equals 75 days. So therefore probability of E2 equals 75 divided by 250. 250. This is 0.3. 0.3. Now we can see when a forecast is given, there are only two possibilities, either it will be correct or it will be not correct. So, the correct probability of correctness is 0.7. The probability of number of days in which it is not correct is 0.3. If you club these two, 0.7 plus 0.3, so we will get PE1 plus PE2 is equal to 0.7 plus 0.3 equals 1. You will get 1. So, now I will take up the next problem, problem number 6. It needs your attention. It is having some logic, you have to understand that. Example 6. Example 6 in page 280 of your NCERT book. If you have a book, you can open the book. It says a tire manufacturing company kept a record of the distance covered before a tire needed to be replaced. The table shows the results of 1000 cases. So, a tire manufacturing company, so our product, that is tire, how it is being utilized in the public. So, wear and tear ಎಷ್ಟು ರನ್ ಆದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ they have made some experiment. So, in 1000 cases, distance in kilometer, distance in kilometer, frequency, distance in kilometer, frequency. So, less than 400 kilometer, 20. So, 4002, I will write like this, 4002, 9000. So, in this class they got 210, 9012, 14,000, 325 and more than 14,000, 445. So, this is the given data. First, before solving any problem, you understand the given data, I mean problem first. See, a company, tire manufacturing company, 1000 tires after put into use. So it has studied 400, less than 400 kilometer. This is all in kilometer. Kilometer, 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 kilometer. In less than 400 kilometer, 20 tires need replacement. They are spoiled. So, in 4002, less than 4000, sorry, this is less than 4000. Less than 4000, 20 numbers out of 1000 spoiled. From 4000 to 9000 kilometer. So, some of them withstand beyond 4000 kilometers and they have run up to 9000 kilometers. Between 4000 and 9000, 210 tires need replacement. That means they are spoiled in this zone. Some of the tires to the extent of 325 are withstanding up to above 9000 up to 14,000 kilometer, and the remaining 445, so they are capable of running up to, so greater than 14,000 kilometers. So this is the data. Now the question is, if you buy a tire of this company, what is the probability that it will need to be replaced before it has covered 400 kilometers? 400 kilometers. So here in the initial itself, total results, they have calculated for 1000 tires. 1000 tires. So you can calculate here 400 plus 300, 700, 900, and this add up to 1000. So 1000 tires. So therefore, to calculate the first one, if you purchase below 4000 kilometers, what is the probability that you may have to replace it? What will need to be replaced before it recovered? It has to be covered 4000 kilometers. So therefore, we have to calculate, that will be 20 divided by 1000, as you know. So now, see here the frequency is only 20 times. So therefore, first one, 3 questions. I cannot write the questions, dear students. You can note down it. If it need to be replaced before it has covered 4000 kilometers. First question, it will need to be replaced before it has covered 4000 kilometers. So 4000 kilometer ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು replace ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು probability ಇದೆ ಅಂತ question ಇದೆ. So therefore what we have to do is 20 divided by 1000. So that is 0.02 you will get. Now frequency, it will last more than 9000 kilometers. More than 9000 kilometers. See, this is up to 9000 kilometers. Second question is very tricky, you understand. 9001 and above. More than 9000 kilometers, these 325 has survived and 445 also survived. So therefore, we have to add up these two. More than 9000 kilometers. Probability of a tire surviving more than 9000 kilometer is this. So Third one, it will be need to replace after it has covered somewhere between 4,000 and 14,000. 4,000 and 14,000. In that case, we have to add all the three and find the probability. So therefore, answer I will write. First one, answer, the probability of a tire to be replaced before, first question is 4,000 kilometer. 4,000 kilometer is say will be equal to, you can say, 20. So that is frequency of tire below 4,000 kilometer is 20. So therefore I will write 20 divided by total number is 1000. So this equals 0.02. And this is first answer for the first question. Second question, the probability of what's that question? Tire lost more than 9,000 kilometer. Lost more than 9,000 kilometer equals. See, you can see here more than 9,000 kilometer, there are 325 and 445. 325 tires have survived more than 9,000 kilometer and 445 even more than 14,000 kilometer. That means these are more than 9,000, this plus this. So therefore we take 325 plus 445 divided by 1000. So this equals 870 divided by 1000, that is 0.87. So 770. So 445 plus 325, 770, it becomes 0.77. And the third question is, it will need to be replaced after it has covered somewhere between 4,000 and 14,000. So 4,000 and 14,000 in this zone, what will be the probability? So that means you have to take between 4,000 and 14,000. He says not more than 14,000. Third question you read, it will need to be replaced after it has covered somewhere between 4,000 and 14,000. So 4,000 and 14,000. That means we should not cross this 14,000, below 14,000, between 4,000 and 14,000. Therefore, 210 plus 325 we have to take into account. So therefore, the probability the probability of tire replacement between 4,000 and 14,000. 4,000 to 14,000 is equal to, you can take 210 plus 325, 210 plus 325 divided by 1000. So this equals 435. 435 divided by 1000. So this equals 0.435. Two ten, 325, 210, 535, 535, sorry, 535, 535.77.02. So this completes the sixth question. So this is one of the important question. You try to understand this. If you have got any doubts, you can very well ask me. Now I will move on to the next question. Question number, so example 7. Example 7. Example 7. These are all solved problems in your book. The percentage of marks obtained by a student in the monthly unit test are given below. So these are percentage of marks unit test. Unit test. Percentage of marks. So in the first set, the student scored 69. In the second test, he scored 71. In the third test, he scored 73. Fourth test, 68. Fifth test, 74. So these are the marks scored by a student in 5 tests. 5 tests. See, here the question is, based on this data, we have to find the probability of student get more than 70% marks. So, we are supposed to find the probability, find the probability of getting more than 70% marks by the student. So, here you have to understand the problem. We are nothing to do with the total 5 tests are conducted. In 5 tests, 69, 71. So, individual how much is there. So, we are not going to take average of these things. Be careful. What we do is, the question is, find the probability of getting more than 70% marks by the students. So, total how many tests results are available here? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, answer you have to write like this. Answer: total tests conducted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 5. This is the total data available. Now, among these 5 tests, in how many tests the student has got more than 70% of marks? You can see here, this is 69, it is less than 70, 71, 73 and 74 you can see. So, number of tests in which the student has got more than 70% marks equals 1, 2, 3. In second test, in third test and in fifth test, the student has scored more than 7. So, I will write 3. So, therefore, now I will easily calculate the probability. Therefore, the probability of getting more than 70% marks by student equals, so number of times 70% scored, number of times more than 70% scored, number of times more than 70% scored. So this equals divided by total tests. Total tests. So this is 3 divided by 5. See, 5 tests have been conducted. Out of 5, the students have secured more than 70% marks in 3. So therefore, this is 0.6. 0.6 is the probability that the student will get 70% marks. This is same as, see, yesterday in the previous class I was telling, while looking at the cricket match, you might have seen. So between India and Pakistan, so many matches have been played earlier. So among them, out of 40 matches, in 25 matches, India has won so far. In 15 matches, the other team has won. So therefore, there is a very possibility that the India will win this time. So likewise, so based on the earlier record, we are going to calculate the probability of getting 70% marks in the next tests. So that is known as probability. So the probability of, in this case, is 0.6. So this is all about today. We shall continue in the next class. Thank you all.